Northwest Thunder. Let's welcome the players from the COE. We have number 3, Tamuri Witness. Number 4, Hunter Goodrich. Number 5, Isaiah Lee. Number 6, Hunter Clark. Number 7, Joshua Kuhn. Number 8, your captain, Alex Dukas. Number 9, Blake Jones. 13, Kian Dennis. Number 14, Will Tansall. Number 18, Jun Jun Lee. And number 26, Lucas Schmidt. Your coach for today is Adam Capone and assistant coach Michael Cassidy. Now for the Northwest Thunder, we have number 1, Cody Jackson. Number 2, Jordan Bowling. Number 5, Rain Smith. Number 6, Lachlan Dent. Number 8, Joel Beveridge. Number 9, the captain, Joseph Chilcott. Number 10, Trey Armstrong. 21, Paul Campbell. And 23, Simon Loken. Your coach is Sam Armstrong, assistant coach Nick Haywood. Your referees for today's game, we have David Baddock, Ruben Woolcock and Leanne Durden. Please be upstanding for the national anthem.
Welcome to Keilor for NBL1 action this afternoon. It is the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence taking on Northwest Tasmania. Steve Murphy alongside me is Ash Arnett in commentary this afternoon. Ash is the Basketball Victorian high performance coach, and Ash, welcome along to really anticipated game. I think it should be a good one between these two sides today.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Really excited about the game today. I'm really excited to watch some matchups, especially that point guard position, Isaiah Lee and Lachlan Dent. I think we're in for a real treat this afternoon. I haven't had a chance to call a Northwest Tasmanian game this year, but have seen the Centre of Excellence boys a couple of times. So athletic up and down the floor. A real trademark, I guess, is such the depth is that the whole bench gets used, whereas a lot of other sides you'll leave a couple of players there for the game, but everyone's pretty much equal court time. The talent is right on show. Yeah, and what they lack in the age department and the experience, they have in depth with Coach Capone. He can look down to his bench, and the size that they continue to add into their roster and the guard, the speeds, they've just got that amazing depth, pool to go from every game. So if one player is not maybe hitting their shots, they go straight to the next one, and that's what makes them so exciting to watch and so deadly to play against.
I'm keen to get your thoughts on this side of it. Obviously, it didn't affect the women before they had a big win over Launceston a few moments ago. But this is a triple header for the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence. It started on Friday night against the Diamond Valley in a 1-point loss there, and then they beat Waverley last night comfortably 95-67. Isaiah Lee there put up 16 points for the game. Josh Coonan 16 as well. But with that rotation of the bench, do you think that still leaves them pretty fresh today coming in?
Yeah, it does. Now, listen, some of them are going to have a little bit more minutes and logged a few more minutes, so we'll be hurting the likes of Lee, the likes of Wigness, Dukas. They're their leaders in the team, so they may be a little bit tired, but these guys train 6 to 7 days a week. They do have the fitness. They do have the ability. For most of these kids, they're coming off tournaments where they have to play every day. So they're used to this. They're trained for this. I think they should be fine today.
Okay, really looking forward to it across the board. Like you said, plenty to look out for on the opposite side of things. One of those is Jordan Bowling. He'll be in the number 2 uniform this afternoon. 14 points his average for season 2019. 5 rebounds, 2 assists and 2 steals a game to go as well as that. You mentioned Lachlan Dent. He's going at 90% from the free throw line, 40% from three-point line, and 11 points his average for the season. 3 boards and 4 assists. So a couple of players to keep an eye on, and big Paul Campbell, who will be in the number 21. You won't be able to miss him with the dreadlocks this afternoon. Paul is averaging 10 points and 7 rebounds a game on the board. So a couple of players to look out for. One guy I am disappointed in that I'm not watching this afternoon is Josh Bannon, because I was lucky enough to be in Ballarat last week, and he was amazing. I think 32 points he put up. It was an incredible 19-point comeback. It went to OT, and the Centre of Excellence was just amazing to hand Ballarat their only loss of the season.
And he's kept his form going. I was lucky enough to be there Friday night to watch him against Diamond Valley, and he had 0 points in the half, and you were thinking, where's the Josh Bannon from last week? And all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. He has 15 points at the end of the game, brings the team back in within 1 possession by the end, and just showed how talented he is. And no matter what you do, he's going to continue to come. And he has that competitiveness, so it is a disappointment he's not out there. But twisted the ankle, I'm told, last night, late in the game, so they're just going to rest him. And as you can see, it's next man up.
Without question, so we're not too far away from tip-off from Keilor here. Asher Ned alongside Steve Murphy in NBL1 at commentary this afternoon. Stay tuned. We anticipate it'll go to the wire, this one. It anticipates to be a close affair. Coaches giving their last minutes instructions before we head out. Really excited to see Northwest Tasmania play. I got to watch a little bit of the boys last week on tape. They took on my home side back home in Albury, the Southern Vale Home Bandits, and were far too good for them.
From the Centre of Excellence, we have number 4, number 5, number 7,
So crowd has definitely built here in Keilor. First time NBL1 action has been here this season in this stadium. Around 20 seconds away from getting this one underway. Definitely a bit of size about Northwest Tasmania as well, so that'll be interesting how the Centre of Excellence deal with it, although they've got some big boys themselves.
Yeah, and the experience is within that size for the Northwest Tassie. Obviously, their young ones are Lachlan Dent and Trey Armstrong, and that's another one to watch out for. Younger brother Taryn, a teammate of the COE boys, but Trey's had a sensational year to start with, and really showing his form from the three-point line.
Northwest Tasmania, I mentioned the Centre of Excellence coming into tonight, 1-1 from their 2 games so far, a victory over Waverley. Last night, Northwest Tasmania did take on Ballarat. That's like we spoke about, they lost 94-67, but no shame in that, a serious unit, that Ballarat side. Jordan Bowling, very good, 25 points. He comes in with a bit of a hot hand, if you will, for the game tonight. So players shake hands with the referee. Bowling, Dent, there's Big Campbell having a bit of a joke, good spirits. Armstrong, whose brother you were saying actually plays with the Centre of Excellence.
Yeah, one of our talented juniors coming through the ranks. He'll be one to watch. Well, he already is, but definitely one to watch in a few years as well.
And Joseph Chilcott also out there for the starting 5 for Northwest Tasmania. Almost set to go on the way. Coonan and Campbell to do battle. Opening tip-off, and we're away in NBL1 action. Isaiah Lee takes possession first, and the Centre Excellence in the blue that come up with the ball. Lee into Goodrick underneath the rim. Campbell blocks it. Goodrick maintains possession, almost turns it over to Bowling. In fact, does. Armstrong comes up with the ball and dishes across to Dent. First chance for Northwest Tasmania to come up with the ball. Bowling puts a screen on. Dent flicks it out to Armstrong outside the perimeter. Back to Dent. Drives against Coonan. Inside. Stripped of the ball. Northwest Tassie get the ball back. Armstrong, shot goes up, just 1 second on the shot clock. And Bowling can't make it count, so it comes down to Coonan. Inside is Dukas, flicks it out wide, and a bit of a rough start for both teams here.
Yeah, the intent is there, the effort's there, energy's there. They've just got the execution, and that happens at the start of the game. Just those little nerves to get them going. All it takes is one shot.
both sides. Centre of excellence, very good defensively there to force that shot clock almost violation to start. Armstrong's had his hands on it, and Lee will get the ball back. Good defence by Isaiah Lee. Just come through on the replay screen here, and Armstrong a little perplexed. Now Dukas, talented player Alex Dukas, we'll get to him shortly. Now Coonan out to Isaiah Lee. Dukas just spoke about him for three. Opening points don't go. Bowling with a rebound. I said he's averaging the 7 forwards. Dent flicks it across. Chilcott drives hard on the left against Lee. Puts it up off the rim. Comes down. Lee gets the defensive rebounds. Centre of excellence in backcourt. Coonan. Goodrick flicks it out wide. Dukas against Bowling. Drives inside off the glass, and there's our opening points. Took 1 minute 35 seconds into the contest. Tough move inside. Alex Dukas, Ash, he's some sort of player.
He's one of the most well-balanced players I've seen in the last 5 to 6 years. Just can do it all.
Isaiah Lee out to Goodrick. We're squared up at 2 apiece here. Dukas. Isaiah Lee for 3. Can't get it to go. Campbell comes up with a ball. Northwest Tassie will possess it with Dent. Drives hard on the right against Coonan. Drives to the bucket underneath. Campbell gets the offensive rebound and knocks it in for 2. Lee runs in at Chilcott. Steps around him. Very athletic Isaiah Lee draws the contact. He'll go to the line first time tonight. Isaiah Lee so quick, able to get around and inside, up the lane very quickly.
And the reason why they get so many lanes, Steve, is because you'll see with the COE offense, their bodies are constantly moving. They're always engaging those weak side defenders, which means these lanes open up for guys like Lee coming off these on balls. So you'll see that all night, and Northwest have their hands full, having to guard all 5 sides.
Ash Arnett, special comments on NBL1. We sit at 4 points apiece, 7:31 remaining in the opening here. Interesting start. Bowling against Dukas. Bowling takes it to the bucket and called for a travel. Bowling shakes his head. Goodrick will take possession. Center of excellence through Dukas, flicks it out wide. Isaiah Lee up to Coonan. Now Dukas averaging 20 points for the year. 74 from free throw line, 46 from 3. As the shot goes up by Lee, comes down Goodrick, back out to Lee for 3. No good. Comes down Chilcott with the rebounds. Chilcott himself having a good season across to Armstrong. Chilcott into Campbell. Chilcott steps around Dukas, mid-range jumper, no good. Dukas gets the rebounds. Center of excellence come up with the ball. Coonan. Out wide, Goodrick thought about the 3. Coonan into Dukas, under the rim, flicks it out, and center of excellence not in sync on that occasion.
I like what Northwest is trying to do. They're trying to get the ball into the key. We talked about this earlier, the experience is with their big men. They're trying to get them engaged in the game. They're just got to slow down. They're playing a little bit too fast right now.
As Campbell brings it up the floor, we're 4 each. Not a lot of scoring to start the game. Dent out to Campbell. Now Chilcott. Now Chilcott in, under the rim. 2 points to Campbell. He gets his scoring going for the night. Isaiah Lee. Out wide, Dukas has a look at a 3. It's the back of the rim. Campbell comes up with the rebound, prominent in this game. Now Dent out wide to Bowling. Bowling puts up the jumper, misses. Underneath it is Goodrick, and it'll be a Northwest Tassie ball. Jackson checks into the game and Dent checks out for Northwest Tassie. A couple of changes too, with Jones and also Tattersall coming on for Centre of Excellence. Goodrick and Lee checking out. Armstrong here is Jackson just on the floor. Already plenty of energy about this man. Gets alongside Jones. and draws the foul.
Northwest are really doing a good job of turning that corner on that ball screen, engaging that big defender. They're attacking his hip. And the COE, they just got to do a better job laterally, moving, reading it a little bit early and showing a little bit harder.
So Jackson passes across. This is with Armstrong. Outside the perimeter, Jackson steps inside, goes around Coonan. Big block by Coonan. Ball goes over the baseline. Northwest Tassie ball again. So 6 plays 4. Armstrong into Campbell, across to Jackson. Thought about the 3, steps around Coonan. And we'll go to the line for a couple.
Jackson's coming very aggressive in his first minute, really causing some problems. Drawn the 2 fouls and now he's at the line.
Come on, with plenty of energy. He's buzzing around out there at the moment, Jackson. Kobe Jackson. Lands the first.
And it's that first step, Steve. That first step is really causing issues for the COE.
For a 4-point lead, Kobe Jackson misses. Rebound goes to Jones. COE. Say Lee. Dukas. Coonan. Lee. Lee for 3. No good. But good when it left his hand. He liked it. Bowling quickly across to Jackson up court. Drives hard against Dukas. Outside now. Chilcott for his own 3 for Northwest Tassie. The first big bucket of the night. Now Coonan and Dukas combining. Tattersall inside for Jones. Tattersall for 3. It's good. Back-to-back 3s in this game, 1 for each side. 10-7, 3-point lead to the Tasmanian side. Campbell. Bowling, back inside to Campbell, knocked away by Jones. Be Northwest Tassie ball. Anything particularly you're seeing at the moment early in the game here, Ash?
I think Northwest Tassie are doing a really good job of just continuous ball screens, engaging all the defenders for the COE. And what they do, they cause it is that deep seal right there for their big men. So Jackson, Dent, they've done a really good job of getting the ball to their players in the right spots. However, COE doing a great job just continuing the battle and blow up screens.
Smith palming across to Jackson. Bowling. And the shot eventually up off the backboard there by Beveridge. And shot clock violation. So it'll be, didn't hit the rim, so it'll be a Centre of Excellence ball from the side. Jones flicks it in across to Dukas. Brings it up court. Wigness landed such many blows last week. He was very, very impressive. A big key alongside Josh Bannon in that victory over Ballarat. Tattersall, who's started on a couple of occasions this year for Centre of Excellence. Wigness back to Dukas, and he just loses the ball. In fact, it was Jones, and it goes out and will be Northwest Tassie ball.
I like the sub of Wigness onto the court, especially now. Jackson coming so aggressively. And how do you match speed? You match it with someone quicker.
Brings his own energy to the table, doesn't he? No question. Jackson loses against Dukas. Tasmania will get the ball back. So 10 plays 7. Early indications are this one's a bit of an arm wrestle. Beveridge into Campbell. Campbell goes hard against Jones. Good move off the glass for 2 points. Timeout called. Opening stage of the game. Ash, how are some of those stats just up there on the board there?
Yeah, well, right now we've got the COE shooting at 22%, 14 from the 3. So they're the heavy legs of the triple header are starting to kick in. They have been really good shots, but just falling short or a little bit long. And that's what we discussed. Hopefully, as the game goes on, they can find their feet and get into the game. But for the Northwest, they're shooting a little bit better. From, mind you, they've only had the 3 attempts. They've made 1, but 33% from the three-pointer line. Northwest, just before that basket there, was gone 2.5 minutes without a score. But I think that's the mismatch right there in bowling up against Blake Jones. Blake Jones has the length, but does not have the physicality to guard bowling. So I'm going to be interested to see how they adjust that mismatch in the timeout.
Not a lot in it at this stage. 3:45 remain in the opening term. It's a 5-point lead to Northwest Tassie.
He's going to keep Campbell on, which is obviously a smart move. He's got 6 points and 4 rebounds. Northwest Tassie in the first 6 minutes of this game have the 3 offensive boards. Probably too many for the COE coaches, but across the size with the COE, they are taller. Hunter Goodrick, what he lacks in size, though, he makes up in physicality. So be looking at him to take that stepping. Pulling a few more boards for the COE.
Boys in blue start with possession. This is Dukas, and now Wigness. Back to Dukas. Goodrick. Now, this is Dukas. Wants a screen from Jones, gets it. Wigness. Directing traffic. Tattersall. Wigness. Out wide. This is Dukas. Around under the bucket. Flicks it out. Jones puts up the 3. 1 second on the shot clock. Comes down. Campbell gets the rebound. Good defensive play there by Northwest Tasmania. With the ball is Beveridge. Smith, in fact. Smith hands to Beveridge. Back across to Jackson. Jackson drives on the left, just taken away, stripped of the ball. Jones comes up with it, gives across to Wigness. Drives up the 4, flicks it out to Dukas. Back inside. Jones drives on the right, puts up a little floater. Gets his own rebound back. Dukas for 3. No good. Down. Beveridge gets the rebound for the Tassie side. This is Jackson up the floor. NBL1 this afternoon. 28-game weekend. Massive weekend of NBL1. Campbell drives inside the 4, flicks it out wide. This is Beveridge putting up a 3. Doesn't go. Comes down, bowling under the rim. Flicks it out. Jackson. And now it ends up back with Jackson. Top of the key. Smith. Campbell. Bowling puts up a 3. No good. Comes down. Jones got high. And gets the board. Flicks it out. Goodrick. Wasn't really expecting it. And Wigness. A frantic pace at the moment up and down the floor. Dukas steps around Campbell. Sort of a reverse layup attempt. Draws the contact out of the line.
I like the change in matchups here for the COE. They've put Hunter Goodrick onto Campbell, and as you can see, Campbell's not getting the deep steal he once did with Blake Jones. So that physicality there on that matchup is working. I like the tempo it's being played at, but now COE 1 for 9 for 3. Maybe have to start to get the ball attacking like Dukas just did. Trying to get some scores inside to see if you can change it up.
The first one's no good by Dukas. And his second attempt is good. So it cuts the margin back to 4. As Clark's going to check in, I reckon, for the first time on the floor this afternoon. Chilcott takes his part on the floor as well as Jackson checks out. Bowling checks out of the game as well. Nice little cameo by Jackson on the floor before. Now this is Chilcott with the ball for Northwest Tasmania. Flips it back around to Dent, back on the floor. Dent drives against Coonan. Dent underneath the rim, flicks it back out. Beveridge goes around the outside. Chilcott for 3 deep. Nice shot. It's good. A big bucket there by Chilcott. Coonan and Wigness combining. Out to Tattersall. Guarded by Beveridge. Tattersall steps to the left. Back to Wigness. Takes on Dent. Loses possession. It's come off Northwest Tasmanian foot, I figure. It has. Just 3 seconds on the shot clock, so Wigness with little choice. And timeout called here.
I'm a little bamboozled there, Steve. He shot the half quarter with still 4 seconds on the shot clock. He had time to at least get down it. And with Wigness's speed, he could get on the rim. So I'm not sure why he let that one go at 4 seconds. And looks like Coach Caporn's just as bamboozled.
Not sure if our cameras picked that up or not, but if you can see his face, that's one way of perplexity. Was lost for words for a little bit there. 1:13 remaining in the opening term, 15-8. Still an arm wrestle, but just a nice little spatial 7 points, but it's only 3 buckets in the game at the moment. Both sides using their benches as we expected, certainly from Centre of Excellence, but Northwest Tasmania is certainly doing the same.
Yeah, Campbell gets a well-earned break there after having a big first quarter, but now COE has to do a better job of locating Chilcott. He's knocked down the 2 threes for the Northwest. Seems to be the only player in the gym making threes right now, but they have to make sure they locate him. I did like, they're starting to, COE you'll see defensively denying the point guard, so Lockie Dent right now, denying him the ball, making the other players bring the ball up, trying to get them out of their system, disrupt a little bit. The COE, right now, they're on the same page. They're playing at a good tempo. They're just shots aren't dropping, so they need to find a way to get the ball in the hoop.
So just over a minute to go in the opening stanza. Northwest Tassie with the ball. Armstrong back on the floor. He and Dent trading possessions amongst one another. Ends up in possession of Smith. Back to Dent. He has the ball. 11 on the shot clock. Flips it back across. Armstrong for 3. Falls short. And will go out over the baseline. Inbound ball to come, Centre of Excellence. Goodrick to have it. Hunter Goodrick. He sees 11 points he's averaged this year. Wigness combining with Clark. Flicks it across to Coonan. Now Wigness flicks it around to Clark. Tannersall back to Coonan. Inside for Goodrick, working in sync, the Centre of Excellence. Nice move there, Ash.
Yeah, really like the ball movement there, just catching the defense out. And really balanced by Coonan. The pass fake, stayed down low, 2 feet, was able to find the open man, and Goodrick with the basket.
Goodrick planting his feet there and forcing Dent to go out of play. So we have 23 seconds remaining in the quarter. Coonan steps around to the left. It doesn't quite fall. Well, Goodrick beat 3 Northwest Tasmanian players for the board and gets the offensive rebound and bucket. So 15 to 12. We have 7 seconds remaining in the quarter. Dent drives it up inside, puts a little floater too strong. Goodrick gets it. He'll throw the Hail Mary. It won't be any good, but a fine end for the Centre of Excellence to the opening period, but they trail 15 to 12. Entertaining, interesting opening term. Ash, what'd you make of it?
Well, just quickly, Steve, at the end, I really like Coonan and Goodrick, the energy they brought in on defense. Coonan's up and in trying to get the ball out of Dent, and then Goodrick on that back line really showing his physicality. So a really good job by those 2 young boys. But in terms of the game, I like the way the tempo's being played. It's not overly too fast. The ball shifting from side to side, and both teams are doing a really good job of engaging all 5 defenders. It just seems that Sunday afternoon, the grueling weekend, Northwest travelling, COE on their 3rd game, the execution's not quite there. So do we stay at this tempo? Is it going to work for both teams, or do both teams have to take a step back, slow it down, allow the players to get their legs and focus on that execution?
Some of those stats for the opening period between the two. It's 13 rebounds to 12 in favour of Northwest Tasmania. We got leading points-wise on the board at the moment.
Chilcott with the 8 points for Northwest Tassie, with Campbell following closely with 6. Campbell's also got the 5 rebounds leading the way there. And then for the COE, Hunter Goodrick with the 4 points. It seems to be evenly spread for the COE. Dukas with 3, Tattersall with that sole 3-pointer made for the COE. And then Goodrick showing his physicality on the boards, leading the way with 3 rebounds.
Is it fair to say in the game so far, Ash, you can't see either side absolutely dominant in one area, like one area where you say this is going to be the difference in the game? It seems fairly competitive throughout.
Well, the bonus for Northwest is sometimes with Dent, Armstrong, they are young guards. They come up against the experienced imports across other teams, and sometimes they can be given little lessons here and there. They're up against teammates and guys they've played against for years, so they're going to back themselves in. Where Northwest have the advantage is the bigs, and you can see Coach Armstrong, he's trying to get his bigs into the game. But the COE just doing a really good job leading the way with their experienced players in Goodrick, Dukas and Coonan, matching with the physicality. So you're right, they suit each other's game. They both play quick, they've both got the ball moving. Hopefully we're in for a hell of a second quarter.
NBL1 action, Ash Arnett alongside Steve Murphy in commentary. This is with Armstrong stepping out, however, and bucket won't count. It'll be a Centre of Excellence ball. Goodrick, inbound ball, goes across to Clark, and now Wigness for the backcourt. Speedy Wigness. Clark, Coonan against Chilcott. Out wide, this is Clark, back across, Goodrick, Coonan. Nice working by Centre of Excellence, good team combination there. This is Armstrong, Northwest Tassie, across to Bowling, Armstrong, and now Loken. Big Loken in the 23, Dent. Bowling, drives around to the left, tries to switch back right on Clark, puts her up the fadeaway jumper. Rebound comes down with Coonan. Josh Coonan out wide, Tattersall thinks about the three, goes to three and lands the three. Will Tattersall, big bucket from the left-hand corner. Armstrong. Bowling out to Dent, guarded by Coonan, steps around to the right. Foul called.
Coonan getting the break, well-earned sub. He's been doing it at both ends right now, guarding the point guard and coming down offensively on the low block, going to work, so well-earned rest. He's logged the 9 minutes for the COE already.
Worth mentioning that three from Tattersall gives COE the lead for the first time this afternoon. Dent goes back inboard, misses across there to Loken. Goodrick drives hard at the bucket, draws the contact and makes it count. We'll go to the line for a three-point play. Hunter Goodrick, you mentioned how strong he was and what he makes up for lack of size, he makes up in physicality. Well, we've just seen a bit of it right there.
And when the going gets tough, Steve, some players have that unique ability to take on the physicality and love the way the game's being played. He's one of those young men that when it does get physical, he seems to lick his lips, and that's his style of game. So really good to see he's having a presence in this first quarter and a bit.
Goodrick lands it. And this is Dent. Campbell. Dent thought about the three, switches back to the right, around. Bowling for three, misses. Tattersall rebound. Wigness. Quickly up the floor. Out wide, Tattersall. Clark switches around Dent, puts up a little floater, misses. Goodrick with a rebound. Can't get it to go. Campbell knocked away by Jones. Wigness flicks it out. No look pass to Tattersall for his second three of the quarter. Dent comes up with it. And Tasmania get the ball back. Campbell and Dent combining. Chilcott. They look past behind both sides. Bringing the tricks in this second. Chilcott for another three. No good. Dent protects the ball nicely. Gets the offensive rebounds. This is Campbell. Campbell against Goodrick. Jones to Wigness. Drives through Bowling. So to Armstrong out wide for Clark. Comes up with it here. Clark again received from Jones and called for the offensive foul.
Steve, the Northwest Tassie boys haven't scored since the 2-minute mark in the first quarter, so the possessions are really becoming tighter for them. They've noticed with Campbell, the COE boys are sitting off Campbell on the perimeter. It's clogging up the key, making it a little bit more difficult for Northwest to score. So they need to get him moving on the low block, see if they can't get an easy score, get them going for the second quarter.
Well, it's a good point you make as Armstrong puts it up for a three.
That works as well, Steve. You know, quick three, as long as it goes in, you'll live with that.
So that ended a 12-0 run to the centre of excellence. That bucket right there by Armstrong. Even though they're only down by 5, they probably needed it to change a bit of momentum in the game.
And just something different there. They slowed it up, walked it down, got a good look. That's what it's all about. You'll live with the contested shots if someone's maybe on a heat check, but the more open we can get, the better shots, the more successful we're going to be. So Northwest there, 4 to 5 contested shots in a row. They're on a scoring drought. They slowed it up, executed, got an open shot. And for Trey Armstrong, that's a great shot. Deadly from 3. You'll live with that. For the COE, the reason why they went on a 12-0 run, they got 2 feet in the paint, head on the rim, found their open shooters. So we talked about the tempo of the game. Both teams have slowed it down a bit, executed. Now the execution has been much better. We're seeing a really good style of basketball game.
It's the Basketball Victoria High Performance coach Ash Arnett making plenty of sense on NBL1. It's exactly as he said how it has panned out so far. 7:09 remain in the opening half, 18-20. It is the Canberra-based side leading the way by 2 at the moment. But not a lot between these two sides out on the floor. As Dukas makes his way back to the centre of the court. I'm liking the fact that back out there now for Northwest Tasmania is Kobe Jackson as well. He was electrifying when he come on in that first stanza. Isaiah Lee out wide for Dukas. Jones found himself in a bit of space, puts up a little floater, and it's good.
Great balance there by Jones.
Trey Armstrong. Jackson and Lee. 2 quality players right there. Campbell palms across to Armstrong, and the foul will go against Jones. And as we see, checking into the game, Joel Beveridge comes back on for Northwest Tassie. So Armstrong to have the ball from the side, averaging 16 points this season. Campbell bowling into Campbell against Goodrick. Campbell tries the hook shot, well guarded by Goodrick. Dukas, she did say you like that move of Goodrick going on him, and it's definitely panned out that way. Dukas out wide, open, Goodrick for 3. Having an impact on this game defensively and now offensively. Armstrong, centre of excellence with their biggest lead of the match. Bowling, a 3 shot. No good here by Beveridge. It'll be a COE ball.
Yeah, Steve, you have to love watching Alex Dukas play. He's just so well balanced. He never looks rushed. He never looks like he's in trouble. And while he had the pressure all the way up the court, he always knew something good was going to happen when the ball's in his hands.
Goodrick and Dukas combining. Now this is Lee. Dukas around to Isaiah Lee. Flicks it back, Jones. And some contact by Campbell. He looks perplexed by it, but it did look there. And a couple of shots to come for centre of excellence. Watch it on the replay screen here. Up, Campbell, just the block. Get a bit of the arm there of Jones.
And that's going to hurt for the Northwest Tassie. Campbell picking up. Was that on Campbell?
It was on Campbell.
Well, the paddle says 1, but it looks like by the stats he has 3 fouls, so just waiting for the score bench to clear it up here.
So referee, that was the dialogue just then between it was definitely against Campbell. So Jones knocks it in.
And that was the paddle we were waiting for, Steve. 3 fouls there on Campbell. So he'll sit for the remainder of this second quarter, you'd think.
5:46. Jones, it's a big blow, isn't it? It's a long time for him to be off the floor in the quarter. Jackson against Isaiah Lee. Flicks it out. This is Armstrong with the ball. Gets a screen from Bowling. Flicks back to Bowling. He gets the ball. Around, steps around well. Try to go Jones and Hunter Goodrick. Well guarded by both those. Isaiah Lee flicks it back to Jones. Drives hard against Jackson. Puts it up on the left mid. No good. Comes down Hunter Goodrick and gets the contact to go. A 3-point play coming up, Hunter Goodrick. A couple of times he's having a fair influence on this game. Goodrick now moving along to 12 points, double figures, the first man to get it. In fact, 13 with that bucket. So leading the way out there on the floor, 5:20 remaining. 12 points now the lead to the centre of excellence. Loken. Cross to now Armstrong. Drives against Jones. And a foul called.
Steve, one of the hardest parts when it gets to the middle of an NBL1 season is coaches have done their homework. They've done the scout. You could see the COE boys doing a really good job of locking into that scout and taking away some of the options they got earlier in the year. And this is what it comes down to, that ability to play out of that pick and roll, make the read. Trey Armstrong just doing a really good job. He's coming downhill aggressively and forcing the foul. And now Blake Jones has 3 personal fouls.
Armstrong going at 70% from the free throw line this season. He'll increase that with a couple of buckets right there. As Smith checks into the game for Northwest Tassie. And Big Coonan comes on. Jones checks out for the centre of excellence. Now Coonan, Isaiah Lee drives to the right, flicks it. Nice assist there across to Dukas.
Great pass there.
2 men that have played a bit of ball together. Jackson drives to the right, switches back across. Loken, big Loken. Have to play some minutes here with Campbell off. This is Beveridge. Back to Loken. Guarded by Goodrick. Isaiah Lee makes it a double team. Flicks it out. Jackson sets back for 3. Jackson can't make it count. Just beats the buzzer. Shot clock. And then Lee passes out to Dukas. Hunter Goodrick for 3. Why not? Jackson with a rebound. Drives up hard against Lee. Looks inside, gives it. Fadeaway jumper by Bowling is good. 2 points. Northwest Tassie moved to 21. They trail by 11. Coonan out to Goodrick. COE climb inside around Loken. Out wide. Lee, no look pass. Out to the other Lee. Puts up the 3, misses. Comes down, taken away by Smith. Tasmania drive up the floor. COE in a good defensive position. Bowling puts up a big 3, however, and lands a big blow. Northwest Tasmania getting themselves back in the game. Goodrick to respond at the other end, and respond he does, nothing but net. Hunter Goodrick.
Now the execution's happening. It's they've definitely picked up the COE now 4. They've made the 4 from the 3-point line, but they're definitely getting up.
Well, those percentages have been climbing, haven't they, since the start?
Well, they've climbed, but they did start pretty low to start with. But COE's 4 for 17 now, 24% from the 3, and Northwest 4 of 13. So 31% from 3. But in saying that, we've had 33s already. We haven't even hit half time, so they are shooting a high amount of 3s. What I like though with the COE, that ball, they get it out of the net so quickly, and they're on the hunt from the get-go. They are making Northwest and making them pay if they do not turn around and detrans. Northwest in that last 2 minutes have just done a better job of getting the ball to the guys who can make the shot. So fast, fun, enjoyable second quarter so far. Hopefully they can keep it up.
Well, absolutely. All the makings of a really good one. 24-35, 11 points the buffer to centre of excellence, 3.5 remaining.
Huge second quarter by Hunter Goodrick. He's now got to 16 points and 5 rebounds. And the closest behind him is Will Tattersall with the 6 points, where he's made 3 in each quarter so far. So huge quarter. He's been the difference so far and been the reason why COE now has the lead.
So Bowling to start with the ball. Inbound ball goes across to Jackson. Flicks it up. This is Smith. Across, Beveridge. Jackson. Jackson mid-range jumper for 2. No good. Rebound. Loken gets aggressive under the bucket. Nowhere to go. Flicks it out wide. Beveridge puts up a 3. Comes down. Taken by Lee. Flicks it across. Quick transfer. This is Tattersall floating one up. Doesn't go. Last touch. Well, Northwest Tassie keep it alive. 10. In fact, Beveridge flicks it back across. This is Bowling. Drives against Tattersall. Passes back out. Loken. Across. Smith. Beveridge. Inboard. Loken. Turns around in the near post. Can't get it to go. Coonan comes up with it. Flicks it across. This is Lee. Well, nice block there by Beveridge. Dukas takes on Smith, drives inside, left-hand mid, doesn't go, comes back. Goodrick hard against Loken, and again draws the contact and will go to the line for a 3-point play. the third time, I reckon, in this opening half for Hunter Goodrick.
He just does a great job of getting his head on the rim, giving himself an opportunity to get that O board. And it's effort. It doesn't require talent there. That's just effort-based possessions by Goodrick, and it's the same with Coonan right now. The effort he's giving on defense, it's igniting the offense at the other end. So credit to both of those young boys. They're just showing the experienced bigs. This is how you do it.
Well, Goodrick's approaching 20 points. So he's missed that, but he's approaching 20 points for the half. It's been a big opening half by that man. He's got the ball now. He's on 18 at the moment. Isaiah Lee drives to the bucket. Rebound comes down with Beveridge, who's had a good second term, across to Smith. Smith. Chilcott puts up the jumper for two. No good. Goodrick gets a board now and draws the foul. Centre of excellence ball. So 1:59 remaining, 13 points a lead to the centre of excellence, their biggest lead of the match so far. They've taken control of it, you'd have to say. Early stages, first 4 minutes or so of the match was with Northwest Tasmania, but since then, centre of excellence have definitely got it under their control.
And as we're starting to see, it's a battle of the depth right now. So it's in Northwest Tassie, Campbell's got the 3 fouls. He can't go back on. So a couple of their backup players are now having a log heavy minutes. And then with the COE, they do have that ability to go down their bench, but it seems that they're logging big minutes into Goodrick and Coonan so they can maintain this lead. So the battle of the depth is going to be a telling story come the end of this fourth quarter.
So Den out to Beveridge. Loken. Den. Back to Smith. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Chilcott tries to flick back. Lee there. So too Beveridge. The call is a centre of excellence ball. 24-37. 1:40 to go.
Coach Capehorn has the luxury of subbing Cameron Weakness on for Isaiah Lee. Not a bad sub to have.
So Weakness with the ball. Coonan palms off to Weakness, drives inside, field goal territory, gives back to Dukas, back across, Goodrick, changing of angles here by the centre of excellence. Weakness, 7-second shot clock, Weakness, nice move off the board, no, it doesn't count. Armstrong to Dent, drives up the floor, palms across, Beveridge, goes hard, jumper, mid-range jumper, just bounces off. Lee gets the rebound, tried to go to Weakness, great hustle there by Beveridge to come up with the ball. Looks for a pass, gets support eventually via Dent. Flicks across, this is Chilcott. Armstrong against Coonan, 12-second shot clock, back to Beveridge, steps around Goodrick, tries to flick it out wide, eventually gets across to Dent, puts it up for 3, doesn't go, comes back, Loken taps it out, it'll be a centre of excellence ball. Great hustle by Beveridge to get that ball back. Still away from the grass there of Weakness and COE. Weakness now against Dent. Dukas, no look pass to Coonan, now Goodrick. Goodrick for 3, misses. Beveridge to Dent. The thing about centre of excellence, you never know on any given night which player is going to step up and take control. Tonight, it's this afternoon, it's Hunter Goodrick.
And I'd add Josh Coonan in there because what he's doing defensively has been huge for the COE as well. Just like that, changing shots that don't necessarily hit the stats.
Right on cue with that one as the foul's called on Beveridge.
An unnecessary foul there by Beveridge, 6 seconds left. Way too aggressive, too much body contact. He is arguing the call, but not Goodrick off his balance. And right now he's the informed player. You don't want to send him to the line. Hopefully I haven't jinxed him right now.
The old commentator's curse,
yeah.
About to find out. So Hunter Goodrick. It would cap off what's been a very impressive opening half.
Oh no, I've let him down. I have let him down.
Ashar net in the curse. 6 seconds to go. And the second one is no good either. Ash bounce ahead. He'll be looking for you after the game. Armstrong flicks it out wide. Chilcott puts up the shot. It doesn't go on the buzzer. It ends an interesting and fascinating opening half. Fairly even, but Centre of Excellence in the end just able to get a bit of gap between the two teams. They lead at 37-24, Ash.
And there's no surprise why COE's got the lead. They are leading all the statistical categories right now. 34% field goal percentage compared to Northwest 26. Well, Northwest do have them on the three-point percentage, but we've got to remember there's been a couple of heaves by COE at the end of a shot clock that'll bring down, but they're 4 of 18 from 3, Northwest 4 of 15. And then the rebound count, COE 31 rebounds to Northwest 24. They dominated the periods when Campbell went off for Northwest, so did a really good job of capitalising in those moments. And then Hunter Goodrick leading the way in that second quarter with 18 and 9, a huge second quarter from Goodrick. And then Chilcott leading the way, still with 8 for Northwest. So right now, Coach Armstrong has to find some other avenues for scoring for Northwest Tassie Boys.
That's Ash Arnett alongside Steve Murphy, NBL1 YouTube action this afternoon. Stick with us, we're going to take a break. We'll come back from Keilor with a big second half to come. Northwest Tasmania still very much in this contest, but at the moment trailing 24 to the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence, 37. That shot clock almost violation to start. Armstrong's had his hands on it, and Lee will get the ball back. Also that shot clock almost violation to start. Armstrong's had his hands on it, and Lee will get the ball back. Coonan. Goodrick flicks it out wide. Dukas against Bowling, drives inside off the glass, and there's our opening points. Took 1 minute 35. Coonan. Goodrick. Flicks it out wide. Dukas against Bowling, drives inside off the glass, and there's our opening points. Took 1 minute 35. Drives hard on the right against Coonan, drives to the bucket underneath. Campbell gets the offensive rebound. Drives hard on the right against Coonan, drives to the bucket underneath. Campbell gets the offensive rebound and knocks it in for 2. Lee runs in at Chilcott, steps around him. Very athletic, I say. Lee draws the contact. Offensive rebound and knocks it in for 2. Lee runs in at Chilcott, steps around him. Very athletic, I say. Lee draws the contact. 7:31 remaining in the opening here. Interesting start. Bowling against Dukas. Bowling takes to the bucket and called for a travel. It's a piece. 7:31 remaining in the opening here. Interesting start. Bowling against Dukas. Bowling takes to the bucket and called for a travel. Now, Chilcott in, under the rim, 2 points to Campbell. Now, Chilcott in, under the rim, 2 points to Campbell. Wide to Bowling. Bowling puts up the jumper, misses. Underneath it is Goodrick, and wide to Bowling. Bowling puts up the jumper, misses. Underneath it is Goodrick, and passes across. This is with Armstrong. Outside the perimeter, Jackson steps inside, goes around Coonan. Big block by Coonan. Ball goes over the base. Passes across. This is with Armstrong. Outside the perimeter, Jackson steps inside, goes around Coonan. Big block by Coonan. Ball goes over the base. His hand, he liked it. Bowling quickly across to Jackson up court. Drives hard against Dukas outside now. Chilcott for his own 3 for Northwest Tassie. The bit of a pick. Now Coonan and Dukas combining. Tattersall inside for Jones. Tattersall for 3. It's good. Back-to-back 3s in this game. Now Coonan and Dukas combining. Tattersall inside for Jones. Tattersall for 3. It's good. Back-to-back 3s in this game. Into Campbell. Campbell goes hard against Jones. Good move off the... Into Campbell. Campbell goes hard against Jones. Good move off the frantic pace at the moment, up and down the floor. Dukas steps around Campbell. Sort of a reverse layup attempt, draws the contact. Frantic pace at the moment, up and down the floor. Dukas steps around Campbell. Sort of a reverse layup attempt, draws the contact. Dent drives against Coonan. Dent underneath the rim, flicks it back out. Beveridge Goes around the outside. Chilcott for three deep. Nice shot. It's good. Around to Clark. Tattersall back to Coonan. Inside for Goodrick, working in sync, the centre of excellence. Around to Clark. Tattersall back to Coonan. Inside for Goodrick, working in sync, the centre of excellence. Coonan steps around to the left. It doesn't quite fall. Well, Goodrick beat three Northwest Tasmanian players for the board and gets the offensive rebound and bucket. Coonan steps around to the left. It doesn't quite fall. Well, Goodrick beat three Northwest Tasmanian players for the board and gets the offensive rebound and bucket. Coonan against Chilcott. Out wide, this is Clark. Back across, Goodrick. Coonan. Nice working by centre Coonan against Chilcott. Out wide, this is Clark. Back across, Goodrick. Coonan. Nice working by centre jumper. Rebound comes down with Coonan. Josh Coonan out wide. Tattersall thinks about the three, goes to three and lands the three. Will Tattersall. Dan goes back in board, misses across there to Loken. Goodrick drives hard to the bucket, draws the contact and makes it count. Will go to the line for a three. Dan goes back in board, misses across there to Loken. Goodrick drives hard to the bucket, draws the contact and makes it count. Will go to the line for a three. Drives through bowling, so to Armstrong out wide for Clark. Comes up with it here. Clark again, received from Jones and called for the offensive foul. Drives through bowling, so to Armstrong out wide for Clark. Comes up with it here. Clark again, received from Jones and called for the offensive foul.
Get him moving on the low block, see if they can't get an easy score. Get them going for the second quarter.
Well, it's a good point you make as Armstrong puts it up for a three.
That works as well. Get him moving on the low block, see if they can't get an easy score. Get them going for the second quarter.
Well, it's a good point you make as Armstrong puts it up for a three.
That works as well.
Two quality players right there. Campbell palms across to Armstrong. Two quality players right there. Campbell palms across to Armstrong. Dukas, as you did say, you like that move of Goodrick going on him. And it's definitely panned out that way. Dukas out wide, open, Goodrick for three. Having an impact on this. This is Lee. Dukas around to Isaiah Lee. Flicks it back, Jones. And some contact by Campbell. Welcome back to Keilor's second half, not too far away. It's Northwest Tasmania 24 taking on the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence, who are on 37 at the moment. It has been Hunter Goodrick who has lit up the Keilor Stadium so far tonight. He goes to the halftime break with 18 points and 9 boards, if you don't mind, in what has been a great display by him, particularly defensively. He's had to go against Paul Campbell, who now has the big man in the number 21 for Northwest Tassie, has 3 personal fouls, so he had that with more than 5 minutes to go. In fact, I think it was around 5:45 to go in the opening half. So he's going to spend a bit of time on the bench, you would imagine, putting a lot of pressure and a lot on Loken, Simon Loken, to have to carry a big load for the big men for Northwest Tasmania. It's Steve Murphy in commentary. Great to have your company alongside me in special comments. It's Basketball Victoria's high-performance coach, Ash Arnett. Ash, can Northwest Tasmania get back in this game?
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. Campbell's back on the court. He just has to be careful with foul trouble. Like to see the ball go through him. A little bit more ball movement, maybe getting some shot opportunities for Armstrong, who's only had the 2 shots for the game. And then also trying to get Dent coming downhill. He's very, very aggressive when he has that downhill penetration. And he can be quite damaging. So just getting those guys in positions where they can do their best work. And then for the COE, right now they're logging big minutes into Alex Dukas and Hunter Goodrick, who have both played 15 and 18 minutes respectively. So it'll be interesting to see what do they do with them. Are they just continue to log them for this last game to ensure they get their win? They're going to get a few more bodies through. So definitely the key there. Can Goodrick continue to have the game he's having? And who else is going to step up for the COE?
Yeah, well, it's a good point. Well, they come in tonight. Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence has a 6-7 record, 6 wins, 7 losses. It's split 5-5 for Northwest Tasmania. So technically on ladder positions, it's 12th Centre of Excellence, 10th Northwest Tasmania. But as we know in this competition, we were speaking in the break, Ash, that one or two players either side, you just see all different lopsided results. It's great for the competition. You never know what's going to happen week by week. Asaya Lee palms across to Goodrick to get us underway. Centre of Excellence to possess it first. Coonan, I know you liked his opening half. Out to Dukas. Flicks a no-look pass across to Goodrick. Out wide, Dukas quickly across. Fast transfer of the hands to Lee. Asaya Lee doesn't get it to go, and Campbell passes to Dent. The Tasmanian side, the first time they've possessed it in the second half, trailing by 13. Campbell, Dent, quickly inside. This is Bowling, puts it up off the glass, doesn't get it to go. The ball goes the way of Goodrick.
He's already got a double-double now. That's his 10th rebound for the game.
Impressive stuff, Hunter Goodrick. Coonan goes to Asaya Lee, drives hard against on the left at Campbell, flicks it out to Dukas inside for Coonan, puts a little hook shot up, doesn't go. Campbell gets the rebounds. This is Dent against Coonan, left and right. Double guarded, flicks it across. Well, Bowling fumbled initially, got around Dukas, back out to Dent. Inside Campbell, Bowling. Into territory, fakes around Dukas, now under the rim, blocked by Coonan, has a second crack at it, well done Bowling, gets the bucket. Margin cut back to 11, early stages of the second half. Coonan. Goodrick around to Lee on the left, out wide. This is Asaya Lee, back to Coonan. Well, Lee win himself in the end. The reverse layup's good off the glass for 2. Margin restored to the halftime deficit of 13. Armstrong for Northwest Tassie to Campbell. Armstrong, Campbell. Campbell for 2. Hard move inside. Still have tempo about this game.
Yeah, I really like the ball movement from the COE right now, doing a really good job of getting that ball from side to side and finding the open shooter, just like they did that with Lee just then.
Young Lee knocks it down for 3. He's another impressive player last week against Ballarat on their own floor. Ballarat's floor, that is. Armstrong to Campbell. Now this is Armstrong, steps back left, inside, Bowling, mid-range jumper, just short. Coonan got there aggressively, but Bowling taps it out. Centre of Excellence ball.
Still have tempo
Again,
about
that
this
change.
game.
Asaya Lee checks out.
Yeah,
Your man Wigness checks in.
I really like to Northwest getting the ball through Bowling and Campbell's hands. Guys who can make some plays for him, so great start for both teams.
Coonan to Wigness, quickly around, back to Lee, back to Wigness, behind the back, little dicky pass to Dukas, Lee, Wigness, Coonan.
That ball's just moving for the COE right now. So hard to guard,
isn't it? Coonan off the glass for 2.
Tough finish.
44-28, 16 points that buffer's gone out to now. This is Dent, drives inside. Passes back, Bowling, looks for Campbell underneath the bucket. Offensive rebound to Campbell and draws the contact as well. Gets the bucket to go and will go to the line for a 3-point play. So, goes gone. And Campbell to go to the line. So Campbell, maybe this might give a bit of momentum. Now this is Wigness driving up court. Feeds back across to Dukas. Flicks to Lee. Now Dukas looks for Wigness, gives to him, back to Lee. Wigness, back to the right, Wigness looking for Goodrick. 3-second shot clock, Jones steps inside, needs to release and does. A buzzer beater, if you will.
Great poise by Jones. He had clock against him, shot fake, stay composed and got a really good shot at the basket, so well done to Blake.
Armstrong for three and lands a big blow.
2 threes for him now. Steve, it's time to get him into the game, run a few plays for him, see what they can get while he's running hot.
This is with Goodrick under the rim, puts it in, draws the contact, and it's deja vu for Hunter Goodrick.
And the reason why this move is even bigger is because that will be Campbell's 4th foul and he'll now head to the bench. Don't expect to see him until the 4th quarter. So that one hurts for the Northwest Tassie boys.
Yeah, it certainly will, no question about that. And Goodrick finds himself at the line. And just lands the first bucket. It's good. So, ball in possession here of Dent to bring it up the floor. Against Wigness. Dent looks inside, Loken has the ball. And now Chilcott puts up, mid-range jumper is no good, comes down, Goodrick gets a rebound across to Wigness. Drives up the floor against Bowling and called for a travel. Wigness called for the travel, so Northwest Tasmania will get a much needed stop. Now up the ball, Armstrong has it. Now this is Dent. Dent puts up the shot, doesn't get it to go. Goodrick there, keeps it alive, palms off to Jones. Center of excellence, quickly up the floor. Shot goes up there by Tattersall, no good. Comes down, Chilcott feeds across to Dent. And now just under the bucket here, Chilcott, 2 points. 36-49, 4:55 remaining in the third. And now Goodrick, Dukas. This is Wigness. Dukas drives on the left, steps around Loken, just rims out. Bowling with a rebound. Brings it up the floor. And Bowling, nice move inside on the right mid, floats it in for 2, and we go to a timeout.
Good timeout there by Coach Capehorn. Just a few little defensive assignments breaking down. Lack of communication right now, so they just need to compose themselves, bring it together and go over what those assignments are. 2-3 possessions ago, they did a really good job of denying that pass to Armstrong, denying that pass to Dent, denying that pass to Bowling and saying, hey, Chilcott and Loken, you guys need to beat us on this possession. So when they lock back in, they are going to be very damaging defensively, especially all 5 being able to defend with such length. Northwest just did a really good job of moving the ball and trying to get each other open, which is allowed to get the ball back into those hands. Bowling, now Jackson's back on the court. He's bringing that damaging penetration to the guys. And then Rain Smith, he's one young fella for Northwest that we haven't talked about, but deadly from the 3, so we expect him to get a few touches and a few open looks right now.
So Northwest Tasmania trying to get themselves back into the game. 38-49, 11 points the buffer. And timeout comes back. So how are we looking with some of those stats there,
well,
Ash?
Goodrick's gone now to 21 and 12, so he has a big double-double already, and we're only 4 minutes to go in the third. And then Campbell stepped up his score, and he's got 11 and 8 rebounds. But he now spends most of this quarter on the bench with 4 fouls.
Wigness has the ball in his possession. Flicks it out across to Clark. And the ball goes over the sideline. So Northwest Tasmania, a bit of energy about them coming from the bench, a bit of feeling as Isaiah Lee checks in for Wigness.
And I expect Northwest to stay in that 2-3 zone while Campbell's on the bench, just to give some of those other guys a chance. But the challenge they will face by sitting in that zone is rebounding. they have to do a job, make sure they box out and not allow COE offensive rebounds.
Jackson around Lee, got a bit of a screen by Loken, around for Smith. This is now Bowling, spins around for the little jump shot, doesn't go. Goodrick up court quickly, flicks to Lee, back across. This is Clark out wide, puts it up for Jones for three, doesn't go. Getting high Jackson there, not normally his go, but he does pluck the rebound. So Jackson with the ball, Kobe Jackson. This is Bowling, 25 points last night in the loss to Ballarat, around out wide. This is with Chilcott. Bowling thought about the three. Well, Goodrick. In fact, it was Clark that pickpocketed him, and the shot clock does eventually beat Northwest Tasmania. Great defence by the Centre of Excellence.
Centre of Excellence, you can see that timeout's worked. They've made the adjustments defensively, and they were just on every ball screen there. Even though they still got the shot clock violation, Coach Capehorn getting on young Tattersall about just being a little bit late on one of those switch with that splits action close to our commentating bench here. You can see the action with the two guards right there. But just so much better, forcing the deflection, being more disruptive. And that's the COE we've seen most of the game. So it looks
It's an important 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see Northwest here, they'll extend this pressure, the 1-2-2 press, and they'll fall back into this 2-3 zone. Expect to see that run for most of this quarter.
Lee, this is Clark. Back to Lee. Isaiah Lee for three from downtown. Well short. It goes over the baseline. Northwest Tasmania will get it back. Yeah, 3:02 remaining in the third quarter here. And you just sense Northwest Tasmania, if they can just get and reduce the margin from even what it is right now, it will give them a real good crack at it in the last against the Centre of Excellence. Now, Jackson from downtown for three. Misses. Comes back out to Chilcott, however. Looks for a pass.
You can see the COE coaches here not happy with that offensive rebound. They forced a quick shot. They have to reward their good defense by finishing with that deep board and getting out of no trans. And right now, well, you'll see Lucas Schmidt has subbed in for the COE, big body. They need to capitalise while they have the height advantage with Campbell on the bench, especially in that zone. Offensive rebounds will be there when that shot goes out. The three bigs, Schmidt, Dukas, Tattersall, they need to really hunt that rebound, see if they can capitalise.
So, with the ball is Smith around to Jackson. Gets a screen from Bowling. Tries to take on Dukas, spins around, flicks it back out. Little jumper here by Loken is good. It's 2 points. The margin goes under double figures. This is Isaiah Lee quickly up court, goes around Bowling, flicks a cutout pass across to Tattersall, went in toward the Schmidt, stolen away by Loken. Flicked it back in a hurry to Smith, now Jackson, and across to Beveridge.
That was just a poor passing angle by Tattersall.
The Thunder with the ball. This is Loken again, a big block on him by Schmidt. Last touch comes off. Well, it's going to be a Northwest Tasmanian ball, so last touch off Schmidt.
That was really good D by Schmidt. Took the physicality, took the bump, and stayed vertical, which is not easy to do, especially a big boy like Loken. 9
points in it. This is Smith against Tattersall. Now Dukas flicks back. Well, Jackson stepped out. I think the ball was initially actually possibly intended for Bowling or Loken. So 2:06 remaining. Young Jung Lee wants to check into the game. Tattersall checks out. And here comes Isaiah Lee for the Centre of Excellence. Across to Clark. Dukas. Clark. Alex Dukas. Isaiah Lee switches back to the right. Out wide. Dukas for three. Misses. Schmidt there. Nice board butt. Rebound with Bowling. And Tasmania again come up with the ball. The Thunder have it. In the front court now is Jackson. Beveridge. Loken. Now the three. Smith well blocked by Clark. Isaiah Lee back to Clark. He started this and, well, great block. Bowling. I was going to say he'd finish it. Great hustle by Bowling.
Great hustle. Never quit on that play. made it hard. Really good job by Bowling.
Bowling. Jackson thinks about a three from deep. Steps out. Steps back inside. Flicks it out. Now Loken for three is good. Margin back to 6. This game has come alive. 55 seconds remaining in the third. Lee for the centre of excellence off the sideboard. Comes down. Asaya Lee gets it back, however, for the centre of excellence. Drives against Beveridge. Flicks it out wide to Lee. Back across. Clark for three. Misses. A little shallow. They get the offensive board again. Lee across to Dukas. Inside for Clark. Out wide. Asaya Lee steps inside around Loken. Puts the floater up, and it's good for 2. 32 seconds remaining. What a frantic last minute of play.
Really good job by Northwest. So 4 of their starters sitting out right now, and Bowling being the only starter and the 4 guys off the bench. Getting it done. The effort, the intensity defensively is really ignite offensively. We go back to Jackson, the spark that he's bringing during this game. Just constantly getting head on the rim, creating gaps, creating holes for the rest of the team to capitalise on. It's a really good job there. He's made some subs now. It looks like Jackson's come out and Chilcott in, so he's added some shooting presence there. And for the COE boys, they just need to take a breath, slow it back down, and get the ball back into the hands of likes of Goodrick, Dukas. See if they can't get a clean shot for Lee on the perimeter.
Well, the margin's at 8 at the moment. They did get it back to 6. It climbed as many as 16 during the quarter.
Northwest has taken Goodrick out of the game a little bit in this third quarter. Stop the scoring. So who is that next person for the COE that's going to step up?
Players heading back out on court here in Keilor. What a weekend of NBL1. Bowling to start with the ball from the baseline into 10. Now Armstrong back to Den. Bowling, so 20 seconds on the game clock here. 12-second shot. Den has it against Clark inside, gives the Bowling. He's guarded by Goodrick. Bowling spins around to the right. Hard move off the glass for 2. Cuts it back to 6. We have 7 seconds remaining. Centre of excellence to finish with the ball. Hunter Goodrick out wide. This is Dukas. Steps in towards 2. Puts the shot up off the glass. Goodrick's there to tip it in at 3-quarter time. A buzzer beater. 53-45. The centre of excellence will go in with an 8-point lead.
That was big last play by Goodrick. Now takes him to 23 points and 14 rebounds. So huge double-double so far for Goodrick. But right now the woes for the COE is at the 3-pointer line. 5 of 26, shooting at 19% for the COE. Then Northwest, 32% from 3. So they're finding a little bit more love from the 3, which seems to be the difference and why the Northwest Tassie boys were able to come back. But just the backup guys for Northwest taking that huge step, bringing the little things like energy and effort. It takes no talent. No talent there. Kobe Jackson might not have huge stats. However, his impact on the game has been huge so far. And now Coach Armstrong has the chance. It looks like he's bringing Campbell back in to start the 4th. So he just has to be careful and make sure he doesn't give up any cheap fouls.
Yeah, that could play a big factor, couldn't it? Although, at the moment, with him off the floor for Northwest Tasmania, they've actually worked their way right back into the game. So it might not have as big effect as what we might actually think on their side so far. This is set for a great finish on NBL1. What a way to finish a massive weekend of action. The Centre of Excellence have led the contest throughout. They're up by 13 at half time. That margin's been cut to 8. And Northwest Tasmania are coming the Thunder. Currently in 10th on the table with 5 wins, 5 losses, taking on the Centre of Excellence, who have played 3 more games than what the Thunder have so far. A tough doubleheader for the Thunder as well, having to play Ballarat last night and then having to come up against the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence. Tough 2 teams to travel and play on the one weekend. And, well, we're talking after 11 quarters of basketball, basically, for the Centre of Excellence. This is their 12th for the weekend, so we're going to find out how much of a toll it has actually taken on them. But they are young with their legs, and they are heavily rotated as well.
And to be honest, it's Goodrick and Dukas who have played the most minutes so far. They're probably the only boys on this team that probably have the right to say they're a little bit tired right now. Clark, Wigness, Coonan, got a really big opportunity for them to step up and see what they've got.
Smith's floater, no good, but he gets his own rebound in the end and tapped out by Wigness, I fancy. It isn't. It's been tapped out by Smith, so it'll be Goodrick, the star of the show tonight, or this afternoon. And Centre of Excellence ball, 9:42 left in the ball game here. It's an 8-point lead to the Centre of Excellence. Wigness with the ball, up court. Gets a screen from Goodrick, passes across to Clark, who had a good third quarter. Wigness. Dukas. Around, this is with Clark. Dukas for three, misses off the backboard, comes down, taken by Chilcott. Pass across to Dent. He's instructing Armstrong to come at him then. Smith. Armstrong. Called for a travel. Armstrong displeased. So, 45-53. Wigness. Goodrick, Clark.
Just a warning to the Northwest Tassie boys with the referees. Given the final one, no more.
Coonan, Dukas, Clark. Wigness. Coonan. Out wide, Dukas puts the shot up, misses. Armstrong with a rebound. Important opening bucket here. Wigness takes it. Drives up the floor away from Chilcott. Little no-look pass to Goodrick. Drove hard. And foul has been called. Offensive foul. So, a minute 18 into this period, and there's been no score.
Steve, they're playing at a high tempo. The way the game's been played, the whole game, it's been fun. It's been exciting to watch. But a little bit like that first quarter, there's just been that lack of execution, maybe a little bit too rushed in their offense. So the first team that's able to play with good tempo, but slow it down, make sure they're setting the right screens, getting balance on their shots. We'll start to see have an advantage in this game.
Dent puts up mid-range jumper, no good, comes down. Goodrick gets a rebound, another one for him for the night. Wigness drives against Dent. Takes it up the floor, across to Coonan, flicks it out wide. This is Asaya Lee. Goes against Armstrong, flicks it back across. Almost intercepted by Chilcott, comes back to Goodrick, tries to find Coonan, but Chilcott got a hand in there. Campbell comes up with it to Dent. This is Chilcott into Campbell, tapped away by Goodrick. Campbell back to Armstrong against Coonan. Tough play by both players. Campbell up. Armstrong with a shot, comes off the rim, comes down to Wigness with a rebound. Still no score, beyond two played in this last. Coonan to Goodrick. Coonan, Dukas. Dukas inside, back to Coonan against Campbell. Has to be careful on four personals. Dukas. Wigness, 4-second shot clock, out wide. Goodrick thinks about the three, needs to put the shot up now. Well blocked by Campbell. And the shot clock beats Centre of Excellence.
What I'm liking in this second half, Steve, is the referees have swallowed the whistle and letting this physical, fast game be played the right way. It hasn't been really clear, but they've been consistent in terms of they've let one away for Northwest, and then they've let one go on the COE side. So loving the fact that they just get to go out and play.
Well, 2 minutes and 42 seconds into the last, we get our first points courtesy of Campbell with a 2. Cuts the margin back to 6 again. It's the closest they've been for a while. Dukas lost possession of the ball. Did end up hitting the rim, but it comes down to Campbell and now Dent. So The Thunder can cut the margin further here with possession 10. Campbell. Armstrong gets a screen from Campbell back up to Campbell. I think it was an attempted alley-oop.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Bowling for three. This would be huge. Can't get it to go. Coonan with a double tap gets it down. Takes the rebound for centre of excellence to Asaya Lee. Back across to Dukas. Goodrick. Dukas tries to drive hard. Coonan. Goodrick for three. Rims it out. Dent comes up with it. Centre of excellence struggling with the buckets in the last. Dorojar for Armstrong. Bowling out wide. Chilcott for three. A big shot. Margin back to 350, 350, 6:15 remaining in the game.
And he's out beating our informed shooter tonight, Chilcott. That makes him 3 of 4 shooting 75% from the 3-point line.
Coonan inside the fadeaway. Put the shot up, doesn't. Goodrick with a rebound. Comes down, taken by Chilcott. Flicks across to Campbell, and Chilcott will bring it up the floor. Past halfway. The Thunder are coming. Inside, Chilcott with the shot, draws the contact. He'll find himself at the line, and we could have a one-point ball game. Chilcott has stepped it up, looking for someone from both sides to be able to do that in the last, and Chilcott providing that.
Coach Capon just instructing to his men that the offense is not being run right now. They'll take that breath, compose. I expect to see Goodrick, Dukas and Wigness back on the court very soon to lead the charge home for the COE boys.
Well, Chilcott misses the first but makes the second count. So it cuts the margin back to 2. One basket from levelling things up. Asaya Lee, 5:40 remaining in the game. Out wide, Clark thought about the three, guarded by Armstrong. Clark for centre of excellence. Inside, Coonan. Almost tapped away by Campbell out wide. Tattersall for three. The centre of excellence needed one, and a big bucket there to Will Tattersall. Back out to 5, and it stops the 6-0 scoring run by Northwest Tasmanian Thunder. Campbell, Jackson into Bowling, guarded by Tattersall, puts it up. 3-point play coming up for that man, Bowling, and Northwest Tasmania.
And Bowling just doing a really good job of capitalising on that mismatch. He saw that he had Tattersall. Tattersall has that length, but just a little bit like Blake Jones, doesn't have that physicality and that size behind him. And Bowling just took that one dribble bump right in the middle of the chest and was able to get the and one there.
Well, Bowling coming off 25 points last night has landed a 3-point play right there to take his scoring up to 14 for the night. Now, this is Jones across to Asaya Lee. 2-point ball game, centre of excellence lead. Cross to Clark, looks for Lee. Lee has it outside, tries to take on Jackson, steps back out. A high ball across to Clark inside Coonan. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Called for a travel, Coonan. So the Thunder get another stop.
That 2-3 zone, they've just done a really good job of loading into the paint, taking away all the scores, the touches for Blake Jones on that baseline. Perimeter guys have to do a better job of creating some gaps and creating better shot opportunities for their teammates.
Campbell, well, Asaya Lee just pickpocketed away from Jackson and drives in for an easy layup and extends the margin back out to 4.
That's deflating. That hurts for Northwest.
Absolutely. Jackson into Campbell. Jackson out for Armstrong inside Bowling. This man looks likely every time he gets the ball. Well guarded there on that occasion by Clark. Asaya Lee takes it up the floor very quickly. Nimble, Tattersall from the other side this time for 3. It doesn't matter. Around the perimeter, Will Tattersall stepped up for COE in the last.
Takes Tattersall to 12 points now, all threes. He's now 4 of 6 from the 3-point line, and we just said Chilcott was the informed shooter. COE boys doing a really good job of finding Tattersall. That's the one we were just talking about before. Getting their shooters open. Did a really good job there. Lee drawing the defenders in, finding Tattersall, but Tattersall was ready to shoot before Lee even got past half court. That's how you know he wants it and he's ready to make that shot. So they now have to make that adjustment, Northwest Tassie. Make sure they locate him early in D-trans. Make sure he doesn't get any more open in rhythm jump shots.
Ash Arnott alongside Steve Murphy. 4:09 remaining in the game, 54-61. I know it's a little way out. We've still got 4 minutes to go, Ash, but I'll tell you what, you wouldn't rule out OT at this stage in the game.
Yeah, there's absolutely. The way Northwest is coming hard, there's always a good chance for them to come back and even steal the lead. I'm interested to watch the COE boys right now. Does Coach Caporn stick with this 5 that he has with Goodrick off the court, with Dukas off the court, the guys that have been their mainstays for most of the game today, or will he look to sub those guys in to finish the game at the end?
Fascinating how it will play out, both on the floor and tactically as well. NBL1 this afternoon coming to you from Keilor in Melbourne. Possession of Jackson. Brings it up the floor. Now the Thunder. Campbell. Around to Jackson. Now Armstrong puts up a 3 off the rim, comes down to Isaiah Lee. He wants to transfer quickly, gives across to Clark, back to Coonan inside, out wide for Tattersall, fakes the 3, then faked it a second time, gave to Isaiah Lee, outside for Clark for 3, and he knocks it down. Low and flat, and that margin in the blink of an eye back out to 10.
Really good ball movement by the COE there.
Armstrong drives to the bucket, draws the contact. To say the Tasmanian side needed that was an understatement.
Yeah, Tattersall just opened the gate there, opened too wide, allowed that lane for Armstrong, and there was no weak side help to help him out and bail him out in the end. So tough one for the COE. Great take by Armstrong.
So 8 points. That was an 8-0 run. It was to the centre of excellence prior to that bucket by Armstrong. Trey Armstrong. And pops it in. His brother, Taron Armstrong, plays for the centre of excellence. Not here today, of course. Now, Isaiah Lee, it is a 7-point ball game here at Keilor. Tattersall, Coonan, out wide. Isaiah Lee for 3. It'll miss. It's short. And Tattersall there will come off his back. It'll be a Northwest Tasmanian ball. 3:06 in the game remain.
Great hustle there by Beveridge, and a little bit of a savvy veteran move there just to throw that ball off Tattersall's back. Now Northwest ball.
Exciting finish to this one. It's been a big weekend. Campbell across to Bowling, up court. Back across to Armstrong. Here come the Thunder. Tattersall the guard. Campbell back across to Dent. Steps inside 2 territory. Foul called, offensive foul called. And it'll go against Armstrong. And centre of excellence will get the ball back. A big play here. So 2:54 in the ball game. 7 points the advantage to the boys in blue. Isaiah Lee to Coonan. Back to Lee. Takes on Armstrong. Back inside to Coonan. Tapped away by Campbell. Back to Lee. Coonan received from Clark. Coonan. Back to the right, puts the shot up. Well guarded there by Campbell. Good defensive play in the key. Now this is for 3 to Armstrong from deep. Short. Campbell fights for the ball alongside Coonan. Dent there as well. And a scrimmage on the ground.
Really important for the COE right now to locate the shooters in D-Trans. As you can see, they're not going to hold back. They're going to find the ball, get the ball to their shooters, and they will let it fly. So they need to make sure they're picking up early and not just running back to the key, or else Northwest will make it pay.
So 2:24 in the game, clock becoming a factor in this one. Clark across to Lee, up to Coonan. Had to go at full stretch to Lee. Here is Clark thinking about the 3. Coonan back to Clark. Inside to Coonan, not a bad ball against Campbell. Out wide for Clark. 3-second shot clock, stolen away by Dent. Flicks it back across to Beveridge. Back to Dent, puts up the 3, didn't think about it. Just rimmed out, comes down to Tattersall. I think the coach calling to slow things down here, Ash.
The clock's still their friend right now for the COE. They're just going to execute. Northwest is going to try and disrupt them, as you can see. They've just got to get through their stuff.
Jones turning it over right there across to Dent. Brings it up the floor now. Beveridge steps inside. Puts a little one. No, he just gives across to Campbell underneath the rim. Puts it up. Doesn't get it to go, but tips it back in. Campbell, big play. And it cuts the margin again back to 5. 1:26 left in the game. Asaya Lee up court. The Thunder just hanging in this game. Lee. His side still in control. Out wide for Clark. Guarded by Beveridge. Gives to Tattersall. 5 seconds on the clock. Tattersall puts it up. Gets his own rebound out wide to Lee. They'll get another shot clock. Back across. Clark. Lee again. Drives inside. Against Dent. Puts it up. Misses. Comes down. Northwest Tasmania come up with a Beveridge to Armstrong. Drives inside. Armstrong. Little mid-range jumper's no good. A big moment in this game as we go with 45 seconds left. That might have been the chance for the Thunder. Lee with it. 5 points the margin. Almost loses it. Diving on the ball there. Is getting up is Armstrong. Desperate hustle by him.
Northwest doing a really good job of being disruptive here. The shot selection is what's hurt him in the last minute here. A few rush shots. That last shot by Armstrong in the fast break was a 1 versus 2. Just pulled it out. He had time to get an open shot, maybe a 3 that would have cut that deficit, really make the COE boys tense up a little bit. So I didn't quite see. Whose ball did they say that was there, Steve?
Not 100% sure. I was just waiting on that. Actually, I think it is the Thunder's ball, I get the impression. I could be wrong, but we'll have to wait till they come back out with 34 seconds on the clock. And still a chance, still alive in this game. Although a 5-point advantage is a handy one at this stage. The other side of it too, they're nearly in bonus territory too. The 4 fouls against the Centre of Excellence.
Which is not a bad thing, because when it comes down to it, if they can't get a score, if it is Northwest ball and they can't get a score, they have to foul. They have to put them on the line. If it was the other way around and they only had the 1 foul against them, they would have had to spend all that time trying to get that quick foul. It's just really important for Northwest that Campbell doesn't pick up that foul, as he has 4 fouls and they need him on the court at the end here.
Well, it will be a Tasmanian ball, so they remain in this game. We have 34 seconds remaining in the contest. 5 points they trail by.
The job here for Northwest, they've just got to find a quick score. Doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3. Find a quick score, put pressure on COE.
Dent with the ball, flicks it back. Armstrong puts up the 3, just short, misses. Tattersall comes up with a rebound. It was from deep there by Armstrong. Back to Asaya Lee, tucks it around. You fancy they will foul. He flicks it across. This is Dukas to Coonan. Happy to kill some time. They need a fouling, they do. Foul comes against Chilcott, I think it is, on Coonan.
Good look by Armstrong. We were right behind that shot. It looked good from the hand, just fell short.
So timeout here called by the Centre of Excellence. 14 seconds left in the ball game. They had possession and lead by 5.
Apologies, got the foul count mixed up. It's actually Northwest that had the 1 foul. Now they have to foul really quick. Try not to waste too much time off the clock. And this is where it's a really tough one, Steve. Now with the new interpretation of the unsportsmanlike, if they go too hard, it's bang, 2 foul shots, their ball against. So Northwest has to be able to look like they're going for the ball, but foul hard enough that the refs are going to call it and just call a normal foul. But the first instinct has to be go for the steal right now. If they get it, you have an open 3, take it. If not, just get the first quick point you can and then turn around, foul immediately.
So last rights of this one here from Keilor. It's been a great game. It's gone down to the wire. And Goodrick to have the ball from the sidelines. Goodrick, Hunter Goodrick, been the star of the show so far today. Back to Dukas, who is fouled there by Armstrong. And 2 seconds went off the clock. So that's the third. I'll have to foul another couple of times if they can't get the steal. Goodrick throws to Dukas, and Dukas is fouled by Dent. And that cut another 3 seconds off the shot clock. And so now we are both in bonus territory. So the next foul we'll see Centre of Excellence go to the line. Goodrick throws it in to Dukas. And Dukas is fouled by Armstrong. And with basically 6 seconds left on the clock, 5.9 seconds. So that just play right there with those fouls, Ash, has chewed up a good 7 seconds of play. And
that's where it's always difficult. The refs aren't just going to blow it. It becomes dangerous territory for that team that is down. Like you said, if you foul too hard, you are at risk at giving the unsportsmanlike. But that's one of the battles we face now in the new age game.
Well, it's been tough, but Alex Dukas and the Centre of Excellence are going to go on their merry way with a 7th win and square their season at 7-7 as Wigness checks in for Dukas for the final play of the game. Bowling, hands to Dent. Will he put up the final shot? He drives inside, steps out, has to put it up now, and he does, misses, and that's the way we end the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence, ending their triple header with a victory, 66-59 over Northwest Tasmania. Ash, a pretty good game right throughout, and probably in the end, the better team won.
Yeah, and led by Hunter Goodrick with 23 and 16. He was just sensational for the COE today and deserved a win for the boys. But again, COE dominating most of the statistical categories there, other than the three-point percentage, which was lifted with the shooting of Clark and Tattersall in that last quarter, but 35% field goal compared to Northwest 33. And then that rebound count, they had the 50 rebounds to Northwest 45. Yes, they're only small amounts, but they do add up as the game goes on. So credit to the COE boys. They battled, they fought, but I think our MVP for the game is Hunter Goodrick. Not only did he do it at the offensive end, but when Campbell had a chokehold of that game early on, he was able to go out, take him out of the game, and just have a physical presence, which was very noticeable to everyone here in the gym. So huge job to Hunter Goodrick and his teammates.
Great stuff. Ash, great to have your company, and well done. I know that you're alongside the female side for the Centre of Excellence this weekend. 2 wins from the 3, mate.
Yeah, I'll take the 2. I'll take the 2. Yeah, just filling in for the weekend. A lot of fun. Girls played hard, and I'm glad that they got the 2 wins. So
very impressive earlier.
Yeah, they were. We'll take the 40-point win when we can, or 30-point. Well, I'm not sure, was it 30 or 40?
It's about 30-odd in the end, I think.
We'll just round up, Steve.
Round up 40, yeah. It was very convincing. It was great work. Well done. Great to have your company.
Thank you very much for having me. Had a lot of fun.
Best of luck. Enjoy watching your boys. They are very, very exciting. From NBL1 Action, from Ash Arnett and Steve Murphy, thanks for watching. NBL1 returns again next week.